Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thoughtful Thursday. I'm Lisa Richmond, and today is a super special day because I have a guest with me. This is my very best friend, Ginette Biro, and she is a medium and a channeler, and we work together and we play and we talk and all of it. So I am so grateful and happy to have you here. Welcome, Ginette. Thank you for
Thank
showing up
you.
today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so Jeanette is a very skilled medium. She has been my spiritual teacher and guide since the beginning. I started with doing like readings with you and then building my skills as an intuitive and as in my mediumship. And then, I mean, it has just grown from there, I think. And we always knew that we would work together in some capacity. And the what has come of it has just been an amazing connection. We get together with another friend of ours, Elise, every Friday for Spirit Coffee Talk on Avalon Spirit. And we both do readings. And Jeanette, you offer many things at Avalon Spirit. I know the people watching here know that if they want to book with me to do intuitive mediumship readings, they book on Avalon Spirit, but you're the creator of Avalon Spirit. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. So, ah, Avalon is just it's so dear to my heart. So, after I had my NDE in my near-death experience in 2019, I made like an agreement with my spirit guides that I would step up and share what I do. Because up until that time, we had been doing mentoring and all of that, but I was doing it through my kind of personal business, which was all word of mouth and just kind of kept on the down low. But, it was me. But after the NDE, it was like, be who you are meant to be here. And so they said that several things would happen in rapid succession to get me on my path. And they absolutely did. So after my NDE, Lois and I had already connected before, but Lois was like, we need to make this into something. Would you like to create something with me? And I was like, yes. And I was like, yes, I'm going to start a podcast. And yes, I'm going to start making videos, all of these things. But the thing is they didn't feel hard.
Yeah.
None of them felt hard. I had to have a willingness to do, but Avalon just was created. It was like birthed from the energy of the cosmos, honestly. And Avalon Spirit, the word Avalon, before my near-death experience, Spirit told me what was to be Avalon is now Aurora. And I remember at the time, this was about a week before that experience, I didn't know what that meant, but I started to figure out that Avalon was their reference to the other side, the higher realms. And Aurora meant there was something changing for me in my earthly plan. And so what was to be me crossing over was now going to be me coming back, but I didn't understand that at the time they gave the message.
Oh.
Yeah. And so then when it came time to have a name for our business, Avalon Spirit came so naturally to us because it's all about bringing the spirit of Avalon into
Yes.
this realm and reality.
I
And
love that.
so, yeah. And then, I mean, with you, um, when in our sessions, when I could sense and feel and see into what you could do, it was just a no question knowing that we would be working together and that I was creating a platform to also help support other people of the light to express and be and help and share. And so with you, it was just an automatic, well, obviously, obviously we're
Yeah.
going to be working together. And then coming back to when we first met, do you remember like the first time we met was like we picked each other out of this room and it was like it sounds all romantic. It wasn't romantic, but it was like divine alignment in this realm. I remember we went to this yoga place. I was invited by another friend and you ended up at this yoga event. And I remember seeing you sitting across from where I was. And I remember looking at you and then like you looked at me and it was like,
I know I felt like such a creep because I'm sitting there staring at you and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's here. Not knowing who
yeah,
she is, or like
yeah.
I didn't know who you were beforehand. I was
Mhm.
just like, she's here. And it
Yeah.
was like this, like the crazy, like time stopped. And I know that sounds like really crazy because people will say that with different like soul
Yeah.
connections with people, but it was for us.
Mhm.
That's how it was.
Yeah. I
And
know.
it
And
was like a sound class. And
yeah,
we both
yeah,
went out of our bodies and met together our higher selves, and we started dancing around the room to this music. And then afterwards, when we kind of came to at the end, we like look at each other, and you came over and you're like, did you? I'm like, yes, yes, I was there.
I
And that was
know.
the beginning, because for me, that kind of stuff didn't necessarily happen all the time, or it didn't, that's when it started coming back. And it didn't
Mm,
happen all the time where other people would validate it so much for me. And like I've never felt so seen and heard in my life. As cheesy as
mhm,
that sounds, but it's true. Oh,
mhm.
I'll never forget that. That was like a vivid memory. You know, like the
Too.
moments in time
Yeah.
where things like the trajectory of your existence changes based on that like pinnacle moment. And it was
Mm,
like that day and time that our souls had agreed
yeah.
many, many moons ago to meet finally.
Yeah.
Right? We had to wait until all
Totally.
the things aligned so that we could come together. And then what has come from it has been so unique and beautiful.
Hmm.
Hey, I've just
Yeah.
loved it. And you know what's really neat is that with the Avalon thing is, before any of this went down, is I had these reoccurring visions of myself in Avalon, like the mystical places of Avalon, as this high priestess and the blue moon in the middle of the forehead. And I would have my guides and the goddesses come to me from Avalon, and I would travel to Avalon to build my spirit and to build my knowing in this life, kind of like simultaneously. But that's where I would go. And then when I went and retrieved my fourth child, I went to Avalon and I got her, and it was a celebration in Avalon. And so then when this occurred and you had this, it was like all of a sudden, it was like, well,
Hmm. Hmm.
of course we have that connection, because like that's where we're from, kind of thing,
Hmm.
that energy and the goddess energy working together. And so there's been so many different kind of I want to say like timelines and understandings that have come into play with our journey together, which is amazing.
Hmm.
And I love all the things. Like I love that I can have somebody to just turn to if I just need, hey, do you want to tune in? Or hey, I pulled this card. These are my card pull today. Like, what does it say to you? I'm curious. Or, like just I have a Jeanette journal for anyone who wants it.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
we
a little
totally do
voice.
that.
This is my
Yeah.
Jeanette journal. I don't need a response. I just need to let
Yeah.
you know, kind of thing of like what is going on. So anyway,
Yeah.
love it. Jeanette, also, I want you to share with everybody your experience, because you started doing a lot of like mediumship calls, like I do it now. And then you kind of shifted gears and you're doing a lot of teaching, right? And you offer some amazing offerings. Can you tell us about them?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I have so much fun with these. So, one of them is a meditation Monday. So the last Monday of every month, there is a guided meditation. And the reason why Meditation Monday came up is I was noticing in a lot of what I was teaching is sharing information and all of this. But I was like, I want people to have an experience where they like, how can we go and experience all together? Like even in group readings, like I can't get to every single person in a group reading. So not everybody gets to show up and have an experience of their own. Yes, they can observe and watch, and that's great too. But Spirit was like, group meditation. And I was like, well, of course. So
Yeah,
that's what the meditation is for. So Meditation Monday
love it.
is where we get to join, and I will lead a meditation from Spirit for everyone to experience something for themselves. And in a group energy like that, the energy is heightened, which creates a greater ability for everybody to go deeper. So I love that one. Cosmic Consciousness is once a month as well. It's usually every third Wednesday. And
Oh,
Cosmic
and that's
Consciousness
wild. I
is
love
like,
cosmic consciousness
yes,
too.
it's
Yeah,
like my
that's
baby.
really an amazing one. Yeah.
It is every month Spirit leads me on a deep dive of some topic, from different ETs to what is consciousness to what is AI doing to oh my gosh, you name it, how
Yeah.
spirit works, like
Understanding the different
anything
dimensions and like, yeah.
anything in the realm of spirit. And so that's once a month. So if people are looking for an expanded deep dive into like
The
something bigger,
cosmos.
the
Yeah.
cosmos, cosmic consciousness circle is definitely the one.
So that's
Um,
the last Wednesday of every month, right?
that's the third Wednesday of every month.
Third
Yeah.
Wednesday of every month.
Yes.
Okay.
And then another monthly that I do is a light worker mentorship open circle. So once a month as well. I host an open circle. So anyone who's wanting to try or practice their mediumship skills, their intuitive skills, tuning in, all levels are welcome. And we sit for an hour and we do some practices of getting messages. And it's different every time. So that's a great open circle for anyone. And then lastly, something new this year, which I am having so much fun doing, is we have a spring session and then we will be having a fall session. And so far, the spring session, I have a lightworker mentorship, all levels, as well as an advanced level. And this one is for where for 4 months we meet once a week. Every week we meet and practice and break down all of the skills of mediumship, channeling, all of that. And we're a month in on it, and it is so much fun. And everybody's
That's
growing
amazing.
so fast in the group energy because when I started my mediumship and sat in group circles once a week is where my skills really skyrocketed.
Totally.
That consistent practice. And so it's going so well. Like it is just so fun. And so we're having a lot of fun and we're going to be hosting another 4 months in the fall, September through December. So yeah, there's lots on the go. And then of course there's like recorded
So they can
content
find
too.
all of that on
All of it.
avalonspirit.com. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because with the group thing too, that creation of community is such a huge thing too. I know when I sat in groups or like and did like channeling and anybody could kind of bring up messages that come through, really boosts your self-esteem and it really
Mm.
gives you that sense of like belonging in something that might seem like outside of the box for
Yeah.
people. And it's like they kind of have this gift, but they don't get to share it with people much,
Mhm.
right? And so that offers this beautiful kind of connection and community with it. So
Yeah.
thank you for offering that to people because
Yeah.
we've been talking about having this great awakening, almost this ascension type energy where people are waking up and they are ascending in their frequency and they are opening up to spirit and this like deeper knowing and connection. And for people to have kind of an outlet and somewhere to go and connect with others so that they can feel like they're not losing it,
Mhm.
but they're not. There's so many people waking up to it right now. So
Mhm.
thank you so much for offering that safe place
Oh,
for
thanks.
all these lightweight
Yeah.
workers waking up.
It's
It's
so
such a
fun.
beautiful spot.
Yeah. And it's really about like presenting an idea or paths for then people to take and run with in their own way. Like I'm not saying all must be done my way. My way is but one way, and there are so many ways, but here's an option for people to try if it
Yeah.
resonates,
Yeah,
like
and you create such a space where people can develop it in their own way too. It's just that creation of space, right?
yeah.
Which is so important.
Yeah.
Cool. One last thing I want to talk about because I think it's juicy and amazing and wonderful is that Ginette is she's a channeler. So she channels, which is different than mediumship. And I just think it's such a really cool thing that comes in, and that we're starting to see more people come forward with channeled messages, and some resonate more than others. But you just have this like divine essence when you channel, and I love it. Can you talk to everybody just about like maybe your channeling experience, how it kind of came about, and the difference between channeling and mediumship?
Yeah, definitely. So mediumship for me is when I receive visions, like audio cues, sensations, smells, words, like, and I receive it, translate and give it to the person. Like I'm the middle person. I am that medium between the audience and the spirit, right?
Right.
And I'm kind of going back and forth, like an interpreter, right? That's
Yeah.
what mediumship is for me. Channeling though is where there's a deeper blend. So even in mediumship, I have to blend my energy with the spirit, basically. We have to kind of connect on the same frequency so that the messages can come through. If we're not on the same frequency, I hear, see, and feel nothing, right? Channeling though is when that connection goes deeper and I allow it to merge with me more. And that way, spirit can speak more directly through me. So it's not that I'm being possessed in any way, shape, or form. It's just me surrendering more of my ego nature and need to be in control and allow it to come through. So when I'm channeling, my eyes are closed and I am hearing spirit's message at the same moment as people are hearing it. I'm not receiving it being like, okay, and da 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 da. It's just a faster connection. And I remember the first times that it ever came through with Julie, I was doing a mediumship session, and the spirit that was bringing through the information, I was sharing it as I do, and the spirit stopped and said to me, they're like, can I just, you're not quite getting it. Can I just bring it right through? Like, can I just channel this through you? I'm like, okay, like I don't really know how. And they're like, can you just kind of like let me be a part of you? I'm like, all right. And then it just like I said it all, and it had like all of the energies of that person. And what was interesting is it allowed me the experience to know how to slightly move aside.
Mhm.
And what was interesting is when I channel now, I don't channel every spirit there is. I only channel mostly the three guides of the light. I have had one other ascended master sometimes come through, but it's mostly the three guides of the light because I trust their energy so implicitly
Yeah.
that it is it's a warm hug when they come through.
Mm,
And I can allow that to come through and just let
yes,
it
that
flow.
familiarity.
Yeah. But the funny thing with channeling is when it's an impromptu channel, like
Yeah.
when I'm not planning to channel, but then they want to come through, they will put this energy pressure of like merging closer that it becomes so heavy. I'm sure people have seen it in Spirit Coffee Talk sometimes, where
And all
like,
of a sudden you're like this.
yeah, you feel like you're gonna like fall on the ground, and it's their presence getting closer and closer. And the way to release that presence is either I can always say to them, now is not a good time. I absolutely have the
Yeah.
sovereign right. And I've said that before too, like
Yeah.
now is not a good time. And they're like, okay, no problem. But when I do kind of release my resistance to it
Yeah.
and surrender into it, and then after it's like waking up fresh and renewed, I'm like, there I am.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. So,
So, okay, this is interesting because I've also channeled. But it's interesting when you talk about when you're in a reading and you channel individuals kind of thing,
mhm,
how it only happens in certain, like it doesn't happen with every reading too. And then you can absolutely say yes or no, but it can make things a heck of a lot easier because
mhm,
it's almost like you're like, okay, I'm like totally removing my own, not like consciousness, but in a way, because then it doesn't interrupt like your own thoughts or perceptions on something
your
doesn't,
interpretation.
yes, doesn't
Yeah.
interrupt it. And I find it funny because afterwards people will always know when that was a channel, where they'll be like, that was a channel. Because number
Mhm,
one, your tone kind of changes a little bit and the rhythmic like the rhythm of your voice.
mhm,
And I remember the first time, not the first time, but one of the first times that I had like a full channel when I was doing a reading, and it was for my daughter, who was like, she was 15 at the time and like really skeptical and always kind of like judgy of my stuff anyway. And I did her reading and I direct channeled like four different spirits that came in to talk to her. And like the vocal change and everything like was completely different. And
mhm.
then after I kind of like came back and I was like, whoa, that was incredible, right? And she's like what was that? And she didn't talk about it for a while. Like we
Yeah.
haven't really fully, but like I know it landed, right? Because
Yeah.
it comes with a different energy. Like it's not just the words either. It's like
Mhm,
as you bring through the message, the words come as you're like the energy that you
mhm,
have to kind of transform into words to give, right? And so
mhm,
it does come with an energy. It's like that receptivity.
mhm.
And I love that. And so your guide, three guides of the light is usually your channel. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. They just move in so seamlessly. Um, and they're like a pleasure to channel is the only way I
Mm,
can say it. Like it's beautiful to channel. That they're like a warm hug kind of feeling.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with everybody today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
thanks for
anybody
having me.
who wants to, again, if anybody's wanting to sign up or be involved, head over to avalonspirit.com and then we can book. I do my one-on-one readings there. You can just go under
Mhm.
readings and experiences
Which
and
are
find me.
fabulous, by the way. Like,
Thank
I
you.
always say to people that you are someone that I turn to so often for insights or spirit when I'm in my own way, because as mediums, we can get in our own way
Yep.
with spirit communication. And like, I never hesitate to turn to you to say, like, hey, what is this? What am I misinterpreting? What am I this and that? Because you are so on point. You really are. And
Thank
so
you.
thank you for being such a safe space to turn to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping me on my journey. It's been amazing. I was saying that to my husband last night. I'm like, I can't imagine doing anything else in my life, whether it's making my videos, playing my sound bowls and connecting to sound healing, which is just like lighting my world up right now.
Your
And
sound healings are profound. Having
oh,
experienced them, they are profound.
yeah.
And they are, what did Spirit say when they said they were primordial?
hmm And
They're
that's how it feels.
primordial.
I'm like, I was saying to my sister, I'm like, I came into this life with this knowledge and just woke up to it. And it's
100%.
like I play this and it's this deep sense of knowing. It's like, yeah, you got to practice the skill, and I got a lot of practice too, but like that deep sense of knowing on how to like connect with the healing vibrations of the sound is something
Hmm.
that's so deep in me to be able, and like using them. So if you're going to listen to them, like I post every Saturday,
Hmm.
and like they're like an hour or a little over an hour, and you can just play them in the background and do your thing. And a lot of time playing them without the consciousness of like watching, like falling asleep to them or going into meditation, it really does what the frequencies are doing is realigning to your vibration. And so
Hmm.
it's like us as an instrument, when we need to retune ourselves in alignment with our frequency, our natural frequency, so that we can align and receive in that divinity. It's like using this frequency to help that alignment and really help with nervous
Totally.
system. And yeah.
I
So
think,
anyway, back to that. Yeah, that's Saturdays. And so I was
mhm,
saying, like, doing this stuff and doing this offering with spirit is something that I'm like, I'll never not do anymore. Like I can never
I get
step
it.
out
I
of
get that.
the service, right? It's
Yeah,
just,
I get it.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, and I encourage people to check out your Saturday offerings with that, because to have been witness, like I watched you do a session, which was amazing. And it was amazing for my left and right brain because I could like experience your session from the energy standpoint, but then I could also watch it from like the critical mind. And it was neat to see how ancient this is for you. Like you've definitely done this before, and it's so obvious. But then also to have experienced the session that you did for me too was so um unique. And so, I mean, I really think people should take advantage of what you're posting on Saturdays because
Yeah.
it's healing, it's uplifting, it's frequency is such a way to change our energy, to
Mhm.
recalibrate, to push forward, to release is through sound frequency. And Spirit has been talking about that tons. So I
Yeah.
think it's a beautiful offering you have for people.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, there's a little Spirit Saturday plug.
Yeah, right. It's so true, though. I don't even mean to plug. I just
I
mean
know,
to
and I
like take
appreciate
advantage,
it.
people. Like, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, thanks so much for joining me. It was super fun to get together and visit as always. So, yeah, if you want to tune in to Ginette, Ginette has so many offerings. She comes on every day with a offering every single day, which is unbelievable. A little spirit message every day. So you can go on to Ginette
Ginette
Biro.
Biro Medium on YouTube for that.
Ginette Biro Medium, and you have an amazing podcast that comes out every Monday. So everyone watching probably already follows you, but if not, check out her stuff. And if you're interested in really opening up to spirit, she offers amazing mentorship. So thank you so much for being my mentor, and I know a mentor to so many other people. So I love you so much. Thanks for coming
Oh, love you
on.
too.